Hi, world. Rama Queen is my name. Presenting to you on Me Youth. Found on Chagwe TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You can like, comment, and share. As we all know, this program is for the youth. Today we are having a fellow youth who is going to be enlightening us more about the law. You know, many youths out there commit crimes and they're taken to court, and trust me, they don't know how they can defend themselves. So most of them end up being, given 10 years in prison, not knowing that in the beginning they would have helped themselves out and they would have, gone out of that problem. So today we are having a fellow youth, a person who has studied law. She's called Counsel Racheal Nansubuga, and she's going to be enlightening us more about the law, how youths are disrespecting the law, and she's going to be telling us how a youth can defend him or herself from any crime when committed. As we know that we are having issues with people misusing internet, people misusing communication at large. She's going to tell us what are the disadvantages and how can someone know that they are misusing communication and how effective it can be. So this youth is right next to me. She's also a youth. Just because she has finished, university doesn't mean that. So she's also a fellow youth, and she'll be introducing herself to us first. Hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
my name is Racheal Nansubuga.
Racheal Nansubuga, you're welcome on Chagwe TV. Say hello to Chagwe viewers because they're viewing you live.
Okay, hello Chagwe TV viewers. I'm very enlightened and happy to speak to the youth and to communicate them concerning matters of law and how best we can help youth, because the law is like ignorance of the law is not a defense. So whether you know or not, it is binding. So I'm so enlightened to have this opportunity to share with any youth who will be watching me, to help them understand how best they can keep the law.
So Racheal Nansubuga, Counsel Racheal Nansubuga. You have just graduated, right?
Yeah, no, I graduated way back, but then I've just I've just finished my postgraduate diploma in legal practice.
Oh, so you studied primary, secondary, and university.
Yes.
How do you think, like, what do you think from the very beginning made you like to study law?
Okay. Like as I was growing, I wasn't interested. The truth was that I envisioned myself being a doctor, but as time moved on, I got interested in the law. Like more especially, this came in after my senior six vacation, because I was like, what am I going to do? Yes, I'm going to campus, but what am I going to do? But then I got a situation at home, in our village, and then I saw how people are, like, you can be on the right part of the law, but then you don't know what to do. So in my head I was like, how am I going to help people get justice? So I was driven by a very how can I say, it was a circumstance that drove me. It was like I didn't grow up saying I'll do this, but it was just a moment that pushed me, and I made up my mind, and I was like, let me just do law.
So from which school did you do your primary?
I did my primary at Apienjo's primary school. It is in Kawempe.
Oh, then secondary?
Secondary, I did it from part of secondary O level. I was at Crested Secondary School. It was in Kawempe, but it shifted to Masaka. Then my A level, I did it from Blemez Secondary School, Vumba.
The combination A level?
I did Edge. By then we were still doing history, economics, divinity. Then I did history, economics, divinity, then geography.
Oh, so you could stroke geography?
Yes, back then, because it was our year was the ending, because we did it in 2020, 2012. Then in 2013, they introduced computer and submath.
Submath, yeah. So we go to university. Which university?
I went to Kampala International University.
Kampala International.
Yes.
Wow. So life at campus.
Yeah.
People have fun. People go for parties. What was your life at campus?
My life at campus, of course, this is a time when you are totally free. Like, no one will tell you to read. No one will tell you to do this or that. No one will call you to class. But then I'm happy. My first semester, it was a combination of confusion because we had friends from all angles, those who club, those who go to church. But I thank God that in the middle of that confusion, I was pushed with the friends who went to church. So my campus life, that's where I found God. And I got a personal relationship with him.
So you never knew about him?
I knew him, but it was from home. Go to church, do this, but it wasn't a personal relationship.
Oh, so at campus, you know about God, you study and you graduate?
Yes, I started. Of course, there are very many challenges at campus. There is loss of life because, you're free. And in most cases, you don't know, like, where you see what you call joy, it may end up in. We lost a number of our friends, like in clubs. Some could drink themselves and pass out. There are very many things that happened at campus. Like, we lost friends, but I thank God I didn't go that way.
And those friends were youth, right?
Yes, they were.
So on that point, tell the youths out there who are viewing you about those challenges in campus and what you can do to overcome them.
Okay. The most important, it is like a right, freedom. You have freedom to do whatever you want. I mean whatever, because in most cases you're in hostels. Your mom, your dad won't pay much attention. Like, this is a period no one will ask for your results, whether you studied or not. But then most of the challenging things was towards maybe the end of semester. You've done exams and people have retakes. Now to go back home and you remember when you have a retake, you have to pay for it and you have to repeat the paper. So a person says, how am I going to go back home? And I tell my mom that I have a retake. Let me say she's a girl. So they end up like looking for ways to do this, like to sum up this. Like, maybe she can say, I have a boyfriend, why don't I tell him? Or actually at campus we had even people who could go in clubs just for money. But when you question them and you ask them, why are you doing this and this, the thing would be, it is because of the freedom they had. Like, they could miss class, they could do. Now a time reaches, she feels like she has to fill in that gap. Then she ends up going to the club for money, not because of fun or anything. But
so for money?
Yeah, to
misusing their right of freedom.
Exactly. Because, okay, I'll explain this, because I have freedom. I'll say, I'm free not to go to class. But remember, your friends are studying. At the end of the day, I'll get a retake. Then I'll fear to tell my mommy, you know what, I have a retake. Yeah. Then I'll need money to pay for this retake in particular. So I'll end up, it may even not be a club. It may be a sugar daddy, because campus life is open to anything. Like, you find big men, they're dating you. And they have everything you feel like you need. So you may give up, you may give in quickly because of money. But if you misuse your freedom very well and you say, yes, much as I'm free, but I know I have to attend classes, I have to do this, you use it in the
appropriate way.
Exactly. So you most of these what I'll call them temptations, you will not land in them. Yeah.
So it's all about knowing who you are and making great decisions.
Exactly. What you want, the friends you hang out with, because in most cases, even if you're good, like there is a verse which says, evil communications corrupt good character. You may be good, but because you hang out with people with evil communications, they'll tell you, Rachel, you look beautiful. Why are you single? This guy, they push you to do something. Why? Because those are the people you're hanging out with. They'll influence you to do what they want.
Peer pressure.
Exactly.
So evil communication
corrupts good character.
Corrupts good character. So on that point of communication, in law, we have a freedom to communicate.
Yes.
And we are entitled, most youths right now are entitled to owning gadgets like phones, computers, and of which they can reach out to social media.
Exactly.
So how do these youths misuse communication through using gadgets?
Okay, so there are various ways, and actually the law is very clear because most of them are actually stipulated in very many acts, like the Computer Misuse Act. Yeah, it is very specific on offenses committed using the gadgets or internet, through accessing internet.
So what are those offenses that one can commit because it's through communication, using internet, and so what are those?
So these offenses, some of them are civil and some of them are criminal. So I'll start with the civil offenses. We have defamation. For instance, someone can go either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and they publish something about someone. But maybe this person is a public figure, he's a responsible person, but it's actually false. It's false. We've had these very many cases, like you hear someone saying so and so is like this and this, so and so did this and this, and then this person does not know that he's actually committing an offense or a crime. So they end up defamation. It is actually the burden. It is slightly high. Why? Because me as Racheal per now, I may not claim defamation. It is one of the offenses that responsible people, let me say the president, ministers, MPs, responsible members of the society who have impacted the society, that if you say anything that will demean his, or it will demean his, the way people see him. For instance, let me say a teacher.
Publicity.
Yeah, a teacher. You go and because you have a phone, you get your phone and you're like, Mr. Maybe teacher so and so is in a relationship with a student, but then you're lying. Maybe you want to spoil his image before. Now such a person has a right, the teacher, he can sue you in a civil suit for defamation. And the how can I call it, the remedies, or the remedies, I'll call them remedies, they are very high, because there is nothing we can compare to a name. It takes time to build a name.
True that.
And then you come in 1 minute because maybe you're annoyed, because maybe you're what, and then you post something that is going to destroy someone's name. So court always take such cases in a manner that they will make you to be like an example. Like when they are punishing you, in most cases you're punished in a way of paying money. You pay
money.
Yeah, you like in most of the cases, because some people it depends on a person you've defamed. If they are really, like now for the youth, I remember I'll not speak names, but there is a case where some youths defamed was it a minister or a member of parliament, and then really, what are you going to give them? So she just told them, you know what, apologize. So she was so merciful to them. But sometimes they go ahead to tell you to pay big sums of money, like 300 million, and then you're a youth, you have nothing, like your life is going to be destroyed there and then, because of just a very small message maybe you published on your social media platforms, and then you end up losing your everything. So defamation is one of the most cases. Then we have libel, like you speak false, still libel. You can actually just say, Racheal did this and this. You see? Maybe
so you just speak it like you as a person without taking it from heart.
Yeah, but then because it will
offend.
Yeah, it offends me. I'll go ahead and sue you in a civil suit. Then there is another offense. There is slander. Yeah, you speak something totally very false. You come out and say, Racheal is a night dancer. You see, that is slandering. So I'll end up suing you. Why? Because it touches my personality, my name. Like maybe I'm building up something, and then for you, you just come up in maybe a word, actually one sentence or two, to destroy something I'm building. So I may not go quiet on you.
So things we publish can ruin people's publicity.
Yes.
So youths out there, wait, before anything, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Remember, Rama Queen, your presenter. We are here with Counsel Racheal, and she's still enlightening us. So as I was telling you, things that we post on media, things that we speak and they're false, they can lead you into trouble, and you can face it. Trust me. See, paying 300 millions, me, I don't have that money, and I know you are a youth. You can't get that money from anywhere. So you have to be careful with what you post. We are still with Counsel Racheal, and she's still enlightening us more. But before we go far, I would like you to differentiate for the youths out there the difference between our civil suit and our criminal offense.
Okay. So a civil suit, this is a case based on me and you, like individuals. You annoy me, I'll take you to court. Then a criminal offense, it is against an individual with the state versus the state. Like now, for instance, the penal code has an offense, annoyance of the president. If you post anything or if you do anything to annoy the president, it is the president it is a criminal offense. The state, it will be maybe Racheal versus Uganda. The state is the state against you. You offended the state, not an individual. So that is a criminal offense. But the Computer Misuse Act, it has also come out with very many offenses which are criminal in nature. For instance, there are very many, I'll not specify, but you can do something using your gadget or your computer to do something, and then the state will come against you. It may not be an individual. You will see, maybe I offend you actually, but you go to police, and then police will come for me, and then on reaching, they'll tell me, this is a criminal offense. It will be, now for you will become the complainant. Much as I offended you, for you're out of the old scene. You're just a complainant. And in most cases, criminal offenses, their main purpose is to deter the maybe people from repeating the same thing.
To deter.
Yes.
So that to deter.
Yeah, and even to punish. Okay, deter is to stop a person from doing the same thing, or even if it is more like they purpose more in punishing. Because when you punish me, it is telling you, if you do this, I'm going to do this so that you don't repeat, and even others don't repeat. But
also,
here
they punish me to teach others.
Exactly. But here you don't pay. You will not pay. They will take you maybe to New Zealand. You'll be there for 14 years, 7 years serving. But then when it comes to civil cases, it is me against you. You can choose to say, me, I want her to give me money because maybe she hurt my feelings, maybe she did this, like she has spoiled my name, let her pay me. Or you say, let her apologize to me. Like, these are civil cases. So the party I'm offending, or they are called the defendant, the person I'm offending is the defendant. So they are free to determine, like, they know what they want. By the time you report me, you know, by the end of this, I want Racheal to give me this money so that she doesn't ever repeat. But then when it comes to criminal offenses, it is the state. It is the state, and you know the state is not interested in your money. No, they will take you to...
It's interested in punishing you and teaching others.
Yeah, and teaching others. So that is the difference. That is the major difference between civil and criminal offenses.
So still in line with communication, can hacking be an offense?
Yes, it is. Actually, there is a government parastatal I worked with during internship, and there were very many offenses in line with that. Only that, these were like, now when we have the the Uganda Communication Act. Still it has those offenses, and we could, like, very many people could come complaining, this did this, they maybe they hacked my account and they used it in this, they used it maybe to defame someone. Maybe I remember on that very, like, there is an account of a big person which was hacked, and these people were using it to solicit money from people.
A media account?
Yes, of a very big person in this country. It was hacked, and people were using it, these hackers were using it to solicit money from
people.
Yes, and they landed on them. It was, of course, it was a criminal offense.
And they were youths?
They were youths.
So youths, be careful. Hacking into people's accounts, doing all that stuff, it's not good. It can cause you a big punishment. And most of you say temucha danger, but in this case you have to fear danger somewhere.